Welcome to our video series on more advanced topics for selling on eBay. In this video, we'll discuss setting up and profiting from the About Me page. In this video, I'm going to talk you through the eBay About Me page and how using this free service can be beneficial. The About Me page is a page you can have on eBay that's all about you. Now, there are, of course, some restrictions on this About Me page that eBay imposes. And actually, if we take a quick look there now, you see the About Me guidelines. So there are a few guidelines here. Be sure to read these before you start creating your About Me page. But the guidelines here are a lot looser than when it comes to auctions, because, as its name implies, this is the page where you can talk about yourself, about your business, and so on. I have an example here, just one that I picked at random. They have their company name and a link to their company website. Generally, I find, and obviously there are exceptions to this and it depends on how you present it, but eBay doesn't like you linking to your main sales website from your eBay auction, because obviously your sales website is in direct competition with your auction. So eBay could potentially lose customers that way. And eBay is very protective of that, and they do as much as they can to keep people buying on their site rather than going anywhere else to make purchases. However, on the About Me page, things are a bit looser. You can talk about yourself and your business. There's a picture of the business there, and so on. And of course, you can link to your About Me page through all your auctions, so that can build up some decent traffic. Obviously, if you run popular auctions or a lot of auctions, the cumulative effect can help send a lot of visitors to your About Me page. And then clearly where they go from there is up to you. Whether you send them to your site or perhaps you collect their email address so they can get updates from you, or maybe they can get a free bonus from you just by entering their name and address, for example. So let's just start creating an About Me page. And you can go to the Community section, and right down at the bottom, create an About Me page. And let's get started. Actually, you do want to save this address they give you. This address is the address to send people to for your particular About Me ID. Actually, as you can see, this part of the address would be the same regardless. What changes is after the equal sign, the eBay ID. In this case, this is a demo, is the ID I'm using. Okay, let's start creating the page. Now you can create it by using their easy step-by-step process, or you can get involved at the HTML code level. I'll come to that just a bit later, but let's start with the easy step-by-step process. So continue. Okay, page title. Let's have a look here. Personalize your About Me page, be creative with the title and your story. Then page title and paragraph 1, either plain text or HTML. Paragraph 2, either plain text or HTML. You can add pictures, up to 2 pictures, and you can either upload them from your computer or link to them directly from your website. And actually, if you have your own website, you may be familiar with HTML, so editing your About Me page at the HTML level shouldn't be a problem. Okay, you can also choose to show the feedback you've received. So 10 most recent comments, 25, 50, and so on. And also, you can show your current listings, up to 200 items. And also, you can have a label for your listings. So really, you see it's just filling in the blanks. Just fill in the blanks, and you'll create an About Me page this way. So let's just very quickly do this to create a dummy page. So title page, My About Me page, paragraph 1, This is the text for paragraph number 1. And let's just quickly copy that, paste it in here, and change paragraph 1 to paragraph 2. Okay, any pictures? Let's use the sample pictures again. So let's browse for those and add Blue Hills, and let's also add the water lilies. Okay, label for picture 1, let's just say Blue Hills. Label for picture 2, lilies. Now, show activity. Well, as this is a demo account and I don't run or bid on any auctions through it, I won't have any comments or items. But just for example's sake, let's say show 10 comments and show 10 items, and then label your listings, let's say view and bid on my current auctions. Okay, add links. Whatever is appropriate to your company site or whatever you would like to add here. So let's say, for example, a great search engine and the address google.com. Okay, let's continue. And now we have the layout options, A, B, and C. Let's go with A. And actually, let's preview. This is the preview. This is how it would look. If we go with a different layout, the preview would automatically change. And that's how it looks now. Okay, let's stick with A and submit. Okay, it's all done. So again, remember your address, the web address to the About Me page, and let's click through, and here's how it looks. And with every auction, you'll have this little Me symbol by your ID, so people can click through to your About Me page. But very few people are going to click through that way. If you really want to send people to your About Me page, you can put a link quite prominently in your auctions and link to it directly. Maybe at the top of your auctions or the bottom of your auctions, maybe saying more details regarding my selling policies, see About Me, and so on. For example, if we go back to guidelines, the main guidelines are the About Me page may be used to describe the seller's business and may contain URLs or links to the seller's individual website. It may not specifically promote off-eBay sales. Okay, you have a bit of a nuance there between sending them to your website and promoting off-eBay sales, between sending them to your company's site and not actually promoting sales. So you may have to be a little bit careful there. Or sales of items prohibited on eBay, nor may it contain links to commercial websites where goods from multiple sellers are aggregated by a common search engine. So, essentially, they don't want you sending visitors to shopping comparison sites, since those are competitors of eBay. So, your About Me page isn't going to get massive amounts of traffic, but it is going to get consistent traffic. And the people who visit your About Me page are interested. I would imagine they're interested in the products you're selling because they've actually found your product listing and then clicked through. And then they've visited your About Me page to find out more about you. So they are effectively hot prospects. Even if they don't buy from you now, it would be a great idea to try to get their details. And a good way to do that, as previously discussed, is to try to get them to subscribe to an email newsletter. But really, in the first instance, you want to give them something for free. So perhaps offer them a free report. For example, the example I used here, it appears to be a sports car dealer or dealership. They could offer downloadable reports, such as perhaps something like 7 things you must know before you buy your next BMW. Or you could even, depending upon the value of the customer to you and how much their first purchase might be, you could even send them the report through the mail. On your About Me page, You could just say, visit us at the following address, and we'll send you a free report by mail called 11 Pitfalls You Must Avoid When Buying Your Next Sports Car, just to use another example. Often, people seem to like reports that are 7 ways, or 7 things you must avoid, or 11 things you need to do. People seem to like and respond to numbered reports. And actually, as you browse the web, you'll probably see that more and more. A lot of popular articles and a lot of popular reports are X number of ways to do this, or X number of ways to avoid this, and so on. So that's a good formula. So you can offer them a downloadable report if they give you their name and email address, or even if they give you name, email address, and full address, it doesn't hurt to try to get their full details. Or if you can get them to enter their name and email and mailing address, and then send them the report through the mail, and maybe as a download as well, or perhaps just as a mailing. Because then you have a postal address, and you can follow up with them, and maybe even try to get their telephone number as well, but that's another potential option. But then you've found someone who is interested in what you're selling, and then you can follow up with them, and they may buy from you in a few weeks or in a few months, or perhaps after more than a year. Obviously, you'll have to have a cutoff point when you stop following up with people, but this is another great point of eBay that often people miss, and that's that you can get very great quality leads. Now, some of your leads are going to be looking for bargains, and a lot of people, if not the majority, are looking for bargains on eBay, but that doesn't mean that away from eBay, they're still that bargain conscious and wouldn't be open to what you're offering. So get their details and follow up with them at least once a month with perhaps a newsletter, or maybe offers, or maybe after 18 months or 2 years, if they haven't purchased from you, then you can just remove them from your list. It's often said that this follow-up, something as simple as getting a prospect's details and then following up with them in a useful way that also presents them with offers that they would be interested in, can have one of the most dramatic effects on your sales and profits. They've shown they're interested in what you're offering, or at least partially interested, but now may just not be the right time for them. You know, people often buy at their own pace. And also, different products or services have different sales cycles and different amounts of research needed. You know, a $20 item will be pretty much an impulse purchase, but a new plasma TV that costs several $1,000s may have a sales cycle of a few weeks, if not a few months, until the customers put the money together, or they feel real comfortable or know the market well enough to make an informed decision. Now, some people are still going to be impulse purchasers of something that costs a few $1,000s, but I would imagine that when things start getting expensive, they're a minority of shoppers rather than the majority. So anyway, keep all those things in mind. But the bottom line is, use your About Me page to try to get people's details. You can list your auctions and feedback, of course, but try to get people's details and try to build a good list of prospects you can keep following up with. And link to your About Me page from your auctions. And also, the more auctions you run and the more traffic your auctions get, the more leads, prospects, and hopefully sales from those prospects you'll get over the weeks and months and years to come. And again, after they've become a customer of yours, then often what you want to do is, obviously it depends on your market, but what you want to do is to try to get them to make that initial purchase from you, even if it's quite a low-end purchase, even if it's just $20 or something. Obviously, if you're selling cars, that may be a little difficult, and you might have to be a little creative. Perhaps you could sell them a high-end report for $20 that you've put together that really helps them buy a car. Anyway, the point is, the first time someone buys from you is always the most difficult, not only for you, but also for them, because they don't know you and they don't trust you, or at least there's going to be a lot less trust than there is after they've become a customer. So if you lower the hurdle to them becoming a customer rather than raising it, in other words, cheaper rather than more expensive, it's much more likely that they'll become a customer. And then once they become a customer, then the percentages go up massively that they'll buy from you again. You know, an established customer is much more likely to buy from you than is a mere prospect. So try to turn prospects into customers any way you can, even if it's with a very low-priced sale in the first instance, and then follow up with them again with newsletters, offers, etc. It makes it much more likely that they'll buy from you again and again and again. Okay, so going back to our About Me page fairly quickly to round out this video, if I do view page source, this is the code that makes up the page. And if we scroll down, and actually let's quickly jump to the About Me page. What I wanted to demonstrate is the code that creates this section of the page that shows your current auctions and also the code that shows your feedback. Let's go back to the source and actually let's make this easy. Let's go to About Me and let's take this text and copy that and back to the code and do Control F. And there we go, we can find. So right click and paste, and there we go. And okay, it only appears once on the page, so that's the correct section. So basically, if you're comfortable working with HTML, this section, and let's take a look at what else. This section is where the auctions would be added, your current auctions would be added, and just a little further down you see feedback comments. This is where the feedback would be added. But I don't have any auctions or feedback, so it isn't displayed as prominently as it should be. But when you do this, you'll have a lot more code, and you'll be able to see how it's done, how eBay presents it. Actually, now if we quickly go back to the About Me page, if we edit the About Me page, if we create or edit, let's edit it, and okay, we're back to the About Me front page. So edit your page, and this time if we go to enter your own HTML code and continue, here's the code that makes up your About Me page. So if you're happy in working directly in HTML, you can make changes here. Actually, just like I showed you in a previous video where you create your page in Front Page or Mozilla Composer or whatever editor you use, and then copy the code and paste it into your eBay auction listing, you can do the same thing here, you see. There's a table starting there. Actually, there's the body tag and the table starts there. So between the body tags, you can add your own HTML code, which you've created in a graphical editor, if you want to work that way. But what I really wanted to demonstrate, and it's a lot clearer here than looking through the code of the About Me page by doing View Page Source. It's a little bit muddled here, so let me close that. And the best way to demonstrate this is when you go directly into your Edit Your HTML. And what I want to demonstrate is here. You see, this is an eBay-specific command. This is not an HTML tag. It's an eBay-specific command. So there's the listings text, and eBay item list, sort equals to, caption equals, okay, there's the caption, and size equals 10. So you can change the value of size to 20 or 50 or however many auctions you want to display. And there are further options here as well, as you can see. And also the code for feedback, another eBay-specific tag, eBay feedback, table width equals 100, border 1, cell padding -1, size equals 10. You can change that if you want more feedback. So what I would suggest is creating the first draft of your About Me page the easy way through eBay, and then going back and editing the HTML as much as you want. And you can take elements of their code, for example, again, the eBay feedback table, and you can create more code in Front Page or Mozilla Composer or whatever editor you use, copy and paste it in here, and then you can add. If you want to keep the feedback listing, you can add that as a part of your page at the HTML level. Or if you want to add auction listings, you can add that. There are a number of settings here, as you can see, and you may want to play around with those to see what effect they have. Some of them are pretty obvious. For example, size equals 10. If you increase the size, you're showing more auctions. So that's effectively how you get set up with an About Me page, how you can start getting traffic to your About Me page, how you can fully customize your About Me page, and how you can really benefit with the About Me page long term. And that's actually a fact that's often overlooked. If you approach it the right way and turn visitors into leads and leads into prospects you follow up on with useful content and relevant offers regularly, preferably monthly, then those prospects could turn into very valuable customers for you, repeat customers for you over the months and years to come.